and Sabbath has been amazing. And I tell people that all the time. I say it's a gift to us.
I know.
It's something that we have that can actually benefit our lives.
Hello, everyone. This is Charlie Kirk. I look forward to participating in a panel at the Wisdom Pearls Conference in Phoenix, Arizona, that will address a topic that is near and dear to my heart, the Sabbath commandment. This special panel is entitled Remember.
Hello there, friends. Let's spend some time talking about this article, the Wisdom Pearl Conference that took place a couple days ago. But I would like to speak about the Spectrum article today. The Seven Mountains Mandate, Christian Dominionism Playbook, they say. Okay, so they are criticizing this conference, and because there were some Seventh-day Adventists on the panel, and Charlie Kirk was also present. We've talked about this before, and it's called Will Thou Be Made Whole? Anyway, so there's a lot of things here that I wanted to speak about, but we have a lot of Seventh-day Adventists here. Dr. Joyce Che is here as well. Oh, wow. These are all people that I know. Denny Shelton and Benjamin Carson. I'm not sure if Peter McCollum is a Seventh-day Adventist, and Peter Arthur. We're trying to get in touch with this guy as well. So Dr. Neil Nedley is here. So it's a mixed crowd, obviously, and we have Charlie Kirk. So one of the criticism is from Spectrum is why are we uniting with them, right? So long ago, Robert Kennedy Jr. was on the scene, much less overseeing health and humanitarian services for the United States. Seventh-day Adventists were trying to make American healthy again, promoting a plant-based diet, exercise as key to physical and spiritual wellness. Now, what's interesting, part of the criticism here is why are we even uniting with these people to push forward the health message when some of them are evangelicals and stuff like that? And the term Christian nationalist, again, is being used here. And again, we're not for it. We're not promoting this. So anyway, let's take a look at the website. So this was held by Wisdom Pearl, and I had to look into Wisdom Pearl to see what they stand for. So I went to their YouTube page. And read a little bit about who they are. Okay, so according to Wisdom Pearl, they are not in any denomination at all. It says, we are a collective group of Christians from various denominations who have a mission to present the everlasting gospel, as mentioned in Revelation chapter 14, verse 6, through science, archaeology, history, and Holy Bible. That's interesting. They don't claim to be Seventh-day Adventists, but they believe in everlasting gospel. I want to make sure you see that. That's actually a crucial point. So they unite with other denominations and bring Seventh-day Adventists along. So it's highly possible there are some Seventh-day Adventists at the core and foundation. There's some people there that I've spoken to, that got in touch with me, and they were sharing some things with me, not so much in depth. But when you go through their videos, what you're going to realize very, very quickly, they have some Seventh-day Adventist teachings there. There's Pastor Ron Kelly. And again, as the days of Noah's. And we have some Seventh-day Adventist pastors present there. That is very interesting. And they are teaching some of our messages. Not only that, but there are other denominations as well on their YouTube page. So I find that to be very interesting. So there is this coming together, this camaraderie in the hope of promoting the message. So again, there are some things there that are critical. When you go to their website, you'll hear about yoga and stuff like that. So there are some things that I will say, I'm not sure about that. But nevertheless, they say they're not a denomination, they're not a church. So it's good to keep in mind, if you get there, you're going to have a mixed box of different things. So part of the criticism coming from Spectrum is that can MAGA, Maha, and Adventists make America healthy again? But at least we should try, So that's my thought to that. We should try as hard as we can, and God has given us a task to do that. Talking about woman ordination in 2012, ASI, Adventists at Trump Church, Christian nationalism, and more Adventist news and views. There's a number of things here. And again, the issue that they have is with Charlie Kirk. And again, Charlie Kirk had expressed his interest in Sabbath keeping. He's been keeping the Sabbath and actually teaching others to do it.
It was important enough that God put it as one of the 10 commandments. And I will say, there is debate in some theological circles that we are bound to it because it predated the law. God rested after creation. So I want you to think about that. So Friday night to Saturday night, no one can reach me. It says it very clearly in the scriptures. For 6 days you shall work, on the seventh day you shall rest. And if every young person took a legitimate Sabbath from Friday night to Saturday night, I guarantee you anxiety would go down, depression would go down, you'd actually spend time with people you care about, meaningful conversations would happen.
During that time, which is beautiful, is that you take the time to read scripture.
And rest.
You rest. You write a note to God.
Mm-hmm.
You write and you just pray and you meditate on God's word. And I think that's really something that's
And I
really
work
neat.
out. I do something restorative.
Yeah,
Go for a walk.
for sure.
And Sabbath has been amazing. And I tell people that all the time. I say it's a gift to us.
I know.
It's something
I know.
that we have that can actually benefit our lives.
Hello, everyone. This is Charlie Kirk. I look forward to participating in a panel at the Wisdom Pearls Conference in Phoenix, Arizona, that will address a topic that is near and dear to my heart, the Sabbath commandment. This special panel is entitled Remember, and is part of a 3-day faith-based health conference at Dream City Church from March 27th to 29th, 2025. More information, go to thewisdompearl.org.
Does that make him a Seventh-day Adventist? Does that? No, he's not. He doesn't have to be. He's a Christian. God has his children outside of our church as well. So I think this is the part where we have to speak about. But again, there's a lot of stuff being said here. It's highly critical in the way that they approach this matter. It's not, as I was reading some of this, and I'm like, I don't know if it's one thing you highlight some things that are maybe wrong, but it's just that the way the approach has gone with Spectrum. And again, Spectrum magazine seems they're losing credibility in my eyes. It's just that the fairness is not there, and they're not very balanced in the way that they talk about some of these things. Adventist Today has even worse disparaging article. This is, oh man, this is worse. It says Adventists hot knob with MAGA Christian nationalists and science deniers. Wow. I mean, anyway, I'm not going to lose my mind. Adventists Today, sometimes they have stuff there that I will say, yeah, I really appreciate. Even Spectrum too. Sometimes they say things that I can actually get behind, but they so disconnected from reality. So here is part of my criticism in some of this. And again, I've listened part to the Wisdom Pearl. I'm going to play Pastor Ron Kelly's video where he explains why they're doing this. The first thing I want you to see, I want you to notice something here, and you can tell me if isn't this a double standard to a degree. So on October 13, 2024, we spoke about this article, Reindeer Brunsma, Navigating Change, Adventism and Catholicism in a Shifting World. So I remember when this was posted, I was like, what's the idea behind that? And again, this was going to be held at one of our institutions, Loma Linda Hospital. People took... some of us took an issue with this because we just knew, wait a minute, is this a union with the Catholic Church? No, it was not, but it was somewhat watering down our messages and coming together in line with the Catholic Church. By the way, if you want to watch the entire lecture, you can. Let me pull it up for you here. On my Contending for the Faith YouTube channel, you're going to find this entire lecture. Listen, you don't have to agree with what is said, but it's good to hear what these men are saying. Understand where they're coming from, the perspective and stuff like that, and hearing the other side, it helps you to better understand what's happening. You guys are smart. Don't think I'm putting this video there to promote them. I'm simply saying, this is what they're saying. Hear what they're saying. If you have to criticize and do some debunking of some of the errors that are there, you can do that as well. So that's why I've posted the video. But when you go there and you read this article, so keep in mind now, the same Spectrum magazine says that if Ron Kelly and other Adventists, right, and they are uniting with Wisdom Pearl say clearly that they believe in the proclamation of the everlasting gospel. Okay, I don't know if they really do. It seems like there's a mixed bag there. But nevertheless, they say that on paper. There it is right there. They believe that, and they say Revelation chapter 14. This is clear. So that means they have some elements and understanding or some connection with the Seventh-day Adventist Church to a degree. At least they have that mentality. So they are bringing these different people together. Some of them are Seventh-day Adventists, and others are not Seventh-day Adventists. So they're doing this in a hope that maybe the Seventh-day Adventist message can spread. This was not held in one of our institutions at all. And Spectrum magazine condemns it, right? Call it Christian nationalists. And again, Adventist.org came out, Adventist Today came out against it and called it a hot knob with MAGA Christian nationalists and science deniers. Science deniers? Okay, I don't know what that means, but we're going to move on. So, But at the same time, we have stuff like this, right? Where Reindeer Brunsma is promoting Roman Catholic teachings and bringing the Seventh-day Adventist Church in union and concession with the Catholic Church. Listen to what they say in this article. The tone of the discussion was candid and hopeful. Dr. Brunsma challenged long-held perceptions, emphasizing that both faith have much to learn from each other in today's shifting religion landscape. Brunsma, he urged acknowledgement of the significant changes within Catholicism. Changes? What are these changes? The Second Vatican Council, he referred to, advocating for mutual respect and understanding. The Respond expanded on his high insight, addressing shared challenges such as secularization, the need of authentic worship experiences, and the importance of embracing diversity within their congregation. This is crazy. This is madness. This is madness. This goes against the Bible and the spirit of prophecy. The Catholic Church has not changed. We are told the tone that the Rome is doing right now is doing it for the purpose to reinstate church and state union to dominate the world. That's what we are told. It's a fake. It's a facade. But again, Spectrum Magazine not in any way condemned. Neither did it have anything negative to say about the Brunsma lecture.
Gradually, Christmas services have been more accepted in Adventist churches in many parts of the world.
It's more like an appeal to the Catholic Church for all. I mean, it's like a love letter when you listen to this. But again, I'm not going to condemn anyone for writing this. All I'm simply saying, man, where's the balance? So you criticize and condemn this. You call this all kind of name, right? And that's fine. You can do that. But this was okay. You say if Seventh-day Adventists unite with people who have any leaning toward Christian nationalism, you feel however you want to feel. Yes, some of that is true. To unite with them, to share our gospel with them, to promote the health message with them is wrong to do. But uniting with Roman Catholics, learning from Roman Catholics is okay. No problem. Not a single trace of criticism of Dr. Reindeer Brunsma. What a double standard. Anyway, we can move on from there. So here is, I'm going to just close this video with Ron Kelly. Ron Kelly is going to do the preaching here. He's going to explain why they felt the need to do this. And again, I'm still waiting for the videos to come out. I don't have the videos of what those lectures were. And if you do, let me know. I'm still looking for some of these videos. I went on their website. They have not put these things up. It looks like they don't put everything on their YouTube page. So I'm waiting to see what the discussion was. I want to hear it, see it, and understand the dialogue before we go on to make any level of criticism. We want to promote the truth whenever we can, but I think this was a good thing if you ask me. You will see why, because he's going to explain it. This was not held in our institution. This was not held in one of our schools. None of our children were impacted. Their brains were not impacted in a negative way. No, these were Seventh-day Adventists with other denominations, some Christian nationalists and other different faiths. They were able to come together to have a panel discussion on many issues that are facing the world today. And the Adventists had an opportunity to add things to the table that could make a difference in the world. Where is the condemnation? Where is Seven Mountain? Where is Christian nationalism about to take over the world? That's not even the discussion so much. That's not what I saw, at least. Maybe I'm wrong. If you have more light, please let me know. But let's take a listen to Ron Kelly because he's going to explain what this is all about, and I'll let him end this video. Anyway, share your thought and perspective with me when you're done with this. I want to hear from you. Where do you stand when it comes to this? Is it wrong in any way for Seventh-day Adventists to unite to a degree to minister to the needs of those who may not be of our faith? Is it better to just stay completely separate from any person who is not of our faith just because we think we might get tempted or something like that? I would like to hear from you. Let's talk about this. Watch this.
Hello, friends. Thanks for joining me. You know, there's an old expression that says you can't win for losing. What it means is there wouldn't be any circumstances that would turn out the right way to where the people who don't like you would feel good about how it turned out. Now, I'm here to remind you that there's an amazing conference coming up in Phoenix, Arizona at the Dream City Church from March 27 to March 29 entitled, Will You Be Made Whole? Why does this conference matter? I'm going to tell you why. We just had elected to our country for the Health and Human Services a man by the name of Robert Kennedy Jr. This man has a goal. He's very passionate about his goal, and that is to get this country out of its bad habits and onto solid ground for healthy, vibrant living. He now holds tremendous political power. This conference is inviting people of similar influence to be guests, not speakers, but panelists, and to get an opportunity to learn from those for who over a century have held an understanding of how to make man whole mentally, physically, spiritually, and relationally. Did you know that when Jesus was on this earth, he was criticized for everything he did? Reading in Matthew chapter 11, it says, "And what shall we say about this generation? It's like children sitting in the marketplace who say, 'We played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We sang a dirge, and you did not mourn.'" And then he goes on to explain the circumstance by saying, "John came neither eating nor drinking, and they said, 'He has a demon.' The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, 'Behold, a gluttonous man and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners.' Yet wisdom is vindicated by her deeds." You see, friends, there's something very important to understand about the ministry of Jesus. He sought to work on principle, to do what was right, and he connected with people that the church didn't want to mess with for fear of tarnishing their reputation. You know, there's an amazing book called The Ministry of Healing. This book has an entire chapter in it dedicated to reaching the rich. And a few very poignant statements are shared. I'll read one. It says, "Much is said concerning our duty to the poor. Should not something be said or attention be given to the neglected rich?" And she goes on to make a statement that the medical ministry work is an especially important part of reaching them. So I want to ask you to pray for this seminar. I want to invite you to come to it. March 27 to March 29, Phoenix, Arizona at the Dream City Church. You can sign up by going to thewisdompearl.org. And I want to remind you, Christ's method alone is the only one that brings true success. He ministered and mingled to the tax collectors, to some that were considered wine bibbers and gluttons. But Jesus was looking to reach people. He wasn't there to identify with them in their way of living. He was there to bring them a greater truth. And that's what thewisdompearl.org seeks to do. God's gifted this organization with the ability to link with people in fairly high places, people of different religious persuasions, people with no perhaps religious persuasion at all, but people who need the invitation to be made completely whole, mind, body, soul, and relationships. I'll be preaching on Sabbath morning. I'll sit on some of these panels with some of these distinguished guests, and it's my hope that we have the opportunity to call them up higher to a greater, more holistic truth. It's my prayer that you'll be praying for everyone that's there. And there may be some who haven't decided whether they're coming or not. I invite you to be there, to be sitting in the audience and praying. You see, God made us to be the head and not the tail. He's given us an amazing health message. And I believe these next 4 years are an opportunity for the Adventist Church to come out strong and alive and vibrant by rediscovering what's been left behind. So friends, will you be made whole? Dream City Church, Phoenix, Arizona. It's my hope and prayer you'll be praying for every part of it, the work up to it, that you'll consider financially supporting it, and that you'll remember there's a whole chapter in Ministry of Healing that's entitled Ministry to the Rich. I'm not sure how we're going to reach them if we don't interact with them. So let's be praying, and may we not be found to be like those people Jesus talked about that were just really looking for a reason to criticize. They didn't want the truth. In my mind, friends, God's opening an amazing door. We need to walk through it. Dream City Church, Phoenix, Arizona, March 27 to 29. Go to thewisdompearl.org to learn more. And most of all, please be praying. It's going to be an amazing event. God has opened this door. And we're going to walk through it hoping that we might win some. God be with you. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you there.